Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about 3 steps to reset for the new year. So, if you're like most people, you're probably feeling the holidays now. Your eating may have gotten a little out of whack. Maybe you've been drinking a little more, sleeping a little less, worrying, and stressing out more than normal. So, how do we get ourselves back on track? So, before we get into that, let me address real quickly that this year is a little, well, I guess half the years are like this, but it's a little unusual this year because the first of the year is on a Thursday. And Thursday is notoriously one of the worst days of the week to start something new. Now, can you technically start any day of the week? Obviously, but psychologically and emotionally, it's an extra challenge. So even though the first is on Thursday, there's a good chance that while you do want to, move forward with your weight and your health and all that this year, that Thursday's not a good day to start that. So I want you to know that you're perfectly fine. If you haven't, you intended to kind of kick the year off strong and you didn't really kick it off strong yesterday, that's totally fine and okay. I hope that you can start to internalize and absorb the concept of a re-entry period. Okay. Because the idea that we're going to go from kind of holiday party mode to like that into, weight loss mode perfectly is kind of silly. So again, I think we want to have more of a ramp up period, a re-entry period where we go from holiday mode into focus mode. And it's completely normal and natural to give yourself a little bit of space and time to do that. Although the diet world will, tell you have to do it on one day and just make everything flip. I hope that you can start to have a bigger picture of it. Now, that being said, this is where the 3 steps I'm going to share with you fit within that idea that me personally, what I suggest to my clients is we're looking to start flowing back into where we were, right? So for me, I've been eating more, I've been doing all that stuff, drinking more, going to bed later, all that stuff. And so for me, starting yesterday, really, right? Because that's kind of my commitment time, is I start making intentions to make things better, right? And so the 3 things I'm going to focus on during kind of my reset time, number 1 is sleeping. And I think this is the most important one. So I really am focused and fixated on getting more sleep. And I suggest you do the same thing too. Most likely going through the holidays, you're kind of depleted, exhausted. You've had a lot of decisions to make, a lot of extra responsibilities you had to live up to. Maybe you had to travel, maybe you had to host, all these different things going on. So a lot of times by the time we get to the end of the year, it's kind of like we just ran a marathon. We're tired. And so giving yourself the space to recuperate is one of the most valuable things you can do, because when we're deprived of sleep, when we're energy depleted, everything else is harder. Everything is just extra work. And so we really want to have this mindset of making ourselves better before we're going to tackle big challenges. It reminds me of there's Abraham Lincoln quote. It's one of my favorites, is that if you give me 6 hours to chop a tree, I'll spend 4 hours sharpening the blade. And it's this idea that instead of just forcing ourselves to do the work in a depleted state, we'll take a step back, get ourselves into a better place, then do the work. And so that's the idea here. So if you start to look for opportunities to sleep, whether it's going to bed earlier, sleeping in later, taking naps when you can, saying no, to social things or things you can avoid, and then just take that time to rest and recover, you're really going to come out the other side of that a lot better off. You'll be energized. You'll be more clear-headed. You'll feel better to move forward. So getting more sleep and rest is probably number 1 way to reset yourself for the new year. The next thing is hydration. And for a lot of people, myself included, during the holidays, you start eating more, sugar and food and all the rest of it. You maybe start drinking some more alcohol, or drinks or sodas and all the rest of it. And sometimes the water gets squeezed out and we start to get dehydrated. And just like when we're exhausted and tired energetically, when we're dehydrated, everything else is harder, right? Because when we're dehydrated, we're not thinking as clearly, our energy's lower, our moods are more all over the place. We're hungrier typically. We have cravings for unhealthier foods. So being dehydrated is really not the ideal state to manage your weight with. All right. So start to drink some more water. Again, make it a focus. If you drink water regularly, again, just make it a focus and recommit to it. If you don't normally drink water, drink a little bit more and notice how you feel. Again, this is one of those things that's going to reset you in a foundational way to be at a better level. And then finally, is to connect to your body in a real gentle, subtle, approachable way. That can be going for walks. It can be doing a little bit of stretching. It can be, some calisthenic movements, some cardio, some light work, taking a dog for a walk, doing some chores around the house, all the way to obviously going to the gym. But I want you to focus more on the side of moving your body in a way that's really easy and comfortable for you. Okay. And the idea is that we're going to do all three of these. We're going to focus on getting more rest, drinking more water, and just connecting with our body more in whatever way that is for you. Right. So again, this is where we're meeting in the middle with moving our body. If you want to go to the gym, knock yourself out. But even just making little decisions in your day-to-day life where you're engaging with your body a little bit more. It could be parking further away from an entrance at a store so you walk a little bit further. While you're walking, being a little more mindful. While you're sitting watching TV, breathing a little more deeply and doing some breath work. Again, there can be really simple, easy ways you can start to connect to your body. But the idea is that as you start to pay attention and connect to your body, you're going to notice how it feels. And as you start drinking more water and getting more sleep, and moving a little bit more, you're going to start to notice that you feel better. And that becomes the foundation on which you build all your bigger successes on. Okay. So these things I'm talking about are not the big moves. They are the things that set you up to do the big moves. And if you can start thinking in this way, I think it sets you up to get a much better results than you've gotten in the past, because typically dieters, they just push on the gas pedal all the way. They never really pay attention to where the gas tank's at and how much fuel they got. We need to do both. So we want to manage our kind of how our machine is running. We want to get in optimal shape, and then we want to take it to where we want to go. All right. And so I hope this helps you. And I hope that you're able to give yourself a couple days at least, and potentially a couple weeks, where you re-enter back to feeling good again, refreshed, rejuvenated, back to take on all the things you need to take on to get to the goal, weight, health, and happiness that you want to live at. All right. And if you want to go deeper into this process, click the link in my bio, go get the free hypnosis session. If you are over at Facebook or YouTube, I'll put the link in here. You can click this. It is for a free hypnosis session. It's called The New Thin Me. It's about 10 minutes long. It's a kickstart session, and it is designed to get you fired up and motivated to lose weight. And again, it's free. And as soon as you sign up, I also give you a training, 3 steps to master your weight. I got a bunch of other cool free stuff coming as well. So go check that out. Okay. It's going to help you out. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. How you doing, Kim? Happy New Year. Yes. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful start to the year and are having a good time. I see Julie out here, sick with the flu, can't eat for days. Great way to reset, drinking lots of water and trying some soup. I'm sorry to hear that, Julie, but yeah, sometimes getting sick with the flu is a wonderful reset. So I love that reframe. I think that's a wonderful frame around getting the flu at this time of year. But it's true, though, too. It really can be a nice reset. Sometimes, I don't know, I got sick. That was a mild sickness. I was grateful for that. But I was sick probably about a week before Christmas. I wasn't feeling quite right. So, but I don't know. Again, when you feel that way, if you can give yourself some space to recover, in a weird way, it can actually be beneficial. And it was for me, because although I felt kind of sick, I didn't feel great. I kind of dialed down my working. I kind of took it easier because of that. So again, it's usually not what happens to us. It's how we respond to it. That has the biggest impact. Right. And so I hope you feel better, Julie. And again, yeah, not bad. It gets you off the kind of holiday food mode and back into, focused food mode. So I hope you feel better soon and that you're able to, get yourself back into the game, back on track quicker. But yeah, if anyone's any questions, feel free to ask them. I know New Year's, this is always a funny day. I know it's like, again, a liminal space to some degree where it's like it is the new year, but it doesn't really feel the new year. I said that to myself today. I was starting work and I haven't cleaned my desk yet. And that's one of the things I'd promised myself I was going to do before the new year. And I sit down here and I said, well, you know what? The new year's doesn't start till Monday in my world. And that's medium true, but I think that's a fine thing. Again, just because it's not the first doesn't mean shit. Don't get caught in that. A lot of people will. A lot of people are going to doom themselves this year because they are going to have to start on the 1st, but this year the 1st was on a Thursday. So now they've already blown it. And so now, now they got to wait till next month or, whatever it's going to be. So don't do that. Again, be more flexible. In Program Yourself Thin, we always talk about having an all or something mindset. And I think the value of that really shows up in the holiday times where it's very difficult to be perfect, and so we need to have some space to be able to make mistakes and space to be more flexible with what we're going to do. And I think that this next week especially is valuable for that. You don't have to jump into a perfect plan. If you have these gray areas where instead of having to eat perfectly and count every calorie and do everything perfect, you can give yourself a little bit of space and focus on getting more rest, hydrating yourself to the proper level, connecting with your body more. If you can do those, it moves you forward. It doesn't have to be all instantly, perfection. Joe says, I'd love to get a free weight loss hypnosis. Yeah, well, Joe, I put the link up. If you should see it. It should be a link right above the comments here. So where you're at Facebook. So yeah, if you scroll up, you should see the link I just posted. If you can't see it, you can go to programyourselfthin.com/hypno. It brings you right to it, or you can just go to Program Yourself Thin and navigate to it. There are links to it as well. Shved says, how did you lose your weight without exercising? That's a great question. Yeah, I did lose the weight without exercising, and I did it by changing how I eat. So I made a very intentional decision. It was over 30 years ago. I hated exercising for exercising's sake. Now, I loved playing basketball and doing active things, but I hated lifting weights and doing cardio. And I made a decision. I am not going to control my weight through exercising. I'm going to control it through how I eat. And that's where I focused my energy. And I lost over 50 pounds and I maintained over 30 years. And I've not done any consistent exercising. I've gotten better this past year. I've gotten better at doing like push-ups and squats and things, just kind of body weight stuff. But that's the extent of it. Now I do yoga, but it's a very gentle yoga. It's not burning any calories. So again, what I really focused on was my eating. And I always felt like that was a way better strategy for the long term, because when you focus on the exercising too much, at some point you're going to get hurt, you're going to get injured, you're going to get older, you might not be able to be, as intense. And I just think having exercising as the core of your weight loss strategy is not a good idea. I think really fixating on the eating piece of it, we're getting your eating dialed in. That's the secret. Because, I look over 30 years, I've been sick, I've been injuries, I had surgeries, I have all different stuff go on, and I've maintained my weight. And it's because I can control my eating. So I feel very empowered. I feel very in control. And I think ultimately it's what you eat that really dictates your weight more than anything else, Caitlin says, yes, I keep thinking today is Monday, but it's not. New Year's is the 5th, far as I'm concerned. Agreed. I think the same thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not, again, you got to work with what you're working with. And when the year, the magical year that starts on the 1st starts on Monday, you know what I mean? That's the one time, because the rest of those years, you're going to feel that. You'll feel it, but it's valuable to feel it because you'll see how your subconscious mind affects things. And you've been programmed to start your weight loss plan on a Monday. You've been literally programmed by the diet industry, which is everything I'm talking about here is really about mental programming, but you all just experienced it just yesterday. You had this intent, okay, 2026, I'm finally getting my weight under control. And then yesterday comes and it's Thursday. Who the hell's going to start their weight loss plan on Thursday? I will tell you, I've been selling weight loss programs for 20 years. Thursday is the slowest day of the week. I sell the least programs on Thursdays. And it's been that way for literally 20 years, never an exception, So, pretty much the worst day of the week. And so if the 1st came and went and you didn't feel like you're on track, you didn't blow the year. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, again, I want you to just take a second and reflect on that, because that's how we can think, though. You know what I mean? Like, we can get us, oh my God, I didn't start yesterday. Oh my God, 2026 blown. And if you're thinking that, you know what I mean? Like, I can't think of any more better example of what I'm talking about, that we're so programmed to think like dieters, and dieters don't lose weight for long. Dieters are overweight, so again, the more you can recognize the dieting mindset that you may be living with, the better it is, I think, the better ability to kind of fix it, What's up, Jody? Jody says, are you planning extra lives over the weekend, or is it starting Monday? No, I'm definitely going live Sunday. I was literally just thinking about that. I was kind of planning out my weekend, and I don't really have much clarity on it yet. But yes, Sunday, this book goes live. Sunday, I'm giving this book away for free, the Kindle version. Okay, so my new book goes live. Giving it away for free for 5 days. The Kindle version of it, just giving it away. And I'll be reminding of, oh, believe me, I'll be reminding you. Bear with me. So I'll be doing a lot of extra lives next week, a lot of them. I'll be doing lots and lots and lots of lives because I want to give as many of these books away as I can. So yes, that will start Sunday. I don't know what my schedule is yet. I know we were talking about when I go into the Circle app, I will post when I'm going to go live. So I will do that. But yeah, and I don't know when I'm going to go Sunday because I'm not sure what I'm doing Sunday. I was just thinking about that. So, but I will be going live Sunday because that's when the free book promotion starts. And I want you all to get that free book. So I will be reminding you, which reminds me as well. So again, if you're not in my world, click the link in my bio. If you're on TikTok, just click the little picture of me on the left and go get the free hypnosis session. If you're over at Facebook, go click the link I posted and go get it. Okay. Again, go get that free hypnosis session. I got so much free stuff coming for you. I'm just like a machine right now. I got so much. I'm just in my productivity era. It was weird taking a week and a half off. I kind of took a week and a half off, sort of. But now I'm coming back and I'm firing on all cylinders. But I got a bunch of free stuff coming. All right. So make sure you get in my world. You got nothing to lose. You know, you check it out and you say, this guy is a bullshitter. He doesn't know anything. You just unsubscribe. You'll never hear from me again. But it's all free. It also, the flip side though, is it might change your life. You know what I mean? It might actually be the start of you taking control of your weight, your health, and your happiness for the rest of your life. So again, you got nothing to lose here. But yeah, if you got any questions, feel free to ask them. See, Shved says, how do you control your eating? Okay, well, how do I control my eating? I mean, really, in Program Yourself, then we follow kind of a 3-step pyramid. I call it the goal weight pyramid: mindset, lifestyle, eating, and they all work together to give me control over my weight. And there's one more piece of it, is being able to run my mind. Okay, but those are the 2 ways I do it. So specifically to control my eating, I got to get my mindset right. I got to get my lifestyle supporting it. And then I have to have eating strategies and structures that are built, customized for me. Okay. That work for me. And that's what I got. Okay. So I know exactly what to do to get myself to eat in a way that keeps me at my goal weight. And the other side of that is I know how to run my mind. So I know how to program my mind and how to run my mind so that I do the things that I know keep me at my goal weight. And to me, that's the magic formula, is knowing what to do for you that really works and resonates for you, and being able to get yourself to do it consistently. And I think when you got those 2 things, that's how you control your eating. That's how you live at your goal weight. Rhonda says, what is the best time to wait between each meal if you eat 3 meals, and when to stop eating in the evening? That's a good question. I would never give you a specific answer because I don't know you, Rhonda. So I don't know your specific situation. I don't know your preferences. You know, everyone's different. So I would change this question up a little bit to focus on myself if I were you. So I begin to think to myself, okay, I want to eat 3 meals a day, which I think is great. And I would start paying attention to, when do I typically get hungry in the morning? So I'd pretty much start from the morning. And I'd say, when do I like to eat in the morning? Some people don't like to eat when they wake up, like to wait a couple hours and then eat. I personally like to eat within a half hour of waking up. That's where I feel best. So I like to eat right away. And so first figure out, where do I typically like to eat after I went to bed or after I wake up? Okay. Now I will let you know in the beginning, that beginning time is related to the nighttime too. Okay. So say, okay, when do I typically like to wake up? When do I typically like to eat when I wake up? And I kind of like to start there, but I'm also saying, okay, if I stop eating earlier, that may change too. Okay. But I'd like to start with the beginning breakfast. Where do I like to eat? And then I'm going to start to optimize that meal. Okay. So I like to say, okay, when do I typically like to eat breakfast? That's the first thing I want to know. The second thing I want to do is I want to start optimizing my breakfast, because what you eat for breakfast is going to dictate how quickly you get hungry. I go and eat some pancakes and some donuts and, some croissants for breakfast. I'm going to get hungry a lot faster than if I eat Ezekiel bread, an egg, and an apple peanut butter. You see what I'm saying? So what we eat very often is going to impact how quickly we get hungry again. All right. So what I would suggest, Rhonda, is you start with breakfast. When do I typically like to eat? Start eating there. Practice this. and then optimize your breakfast. So whatever you eat for breakfast now, whatever you like to eat, work to make it more whole, natural foods. So if you like to eat cereal, make the cereal healthier. If you like to eat bread, make the bread healthier, right? Go from white bread to wheat bread to Ezekiel bread, okay? And optimize it and make it better. And then start to notice when I optimize my breakfast, how long can I go before I get hungry? And so what happens, Rhonda, is you're figuring out how your body operates. Because if I sit here and tell you, oh, it should be 4 hours between each meal. Well, every person on the planet is different. And so maybe your schedule and your metabolism, you get hungry 2.5 hours after breakfast. You know what I mean? So everyone's a little different, and you've got to kind of figure out for yourself what works for you. But when you go about it this way, you keep building on a foundation. That's the main point I want y'all to understand, because most diets are going to say, oh, okay, well, tomorrow, Monday, you eat at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 2 o'clock. And it's like, what? It's, again, so rigid. It's not paying attention to who you are as a person. So again, start to understand yourself, Rhonda. Start to notice your own patterns, your own preferences, and start to build around that. And start by building breakfast first, lock that down, then start to focus on lunch, then start to focus on dinner. You know, because I could never sit here and tell you, oh, this time, and this time, without knowing what you eat, how you feel about it, you know, and all the different factors that impact it. So that'd be my suggestion. What's up, Sherry? Happy New Year. Yes, Happy New Year to you. Yep. Sherry says, ready to reset. Big family holiday party is tomorrow, so I'm rehearsing now to get the most pleasure out of the day. Yes. And Sherry says that the book is pure gold. Anyone who can get it should get it. Yes. Sherry is talking about this book. It is pure gold. I'm telling you, it's really good. I've gotten a lot of feedback already. I sent out some advanced copies and people have been reading it, and it's been awesome. Having people said it. So again, I'm giving this away for free. I'm giving the Kindle book away for free next week. So make sure you get on my email list, so I will remind you about it, and let you know so you don't miss out on it. Okay. So you can get this for free. And it's quite a book. If you're interested in getting control of your weight, I don't think you're going to find too many books like this. It's a unique book. I'm not going to lie, because it's really about the soft skills of controlling your weight. You know, not me just telling you what to eat or how to exercise, but the stuff that actually really matters, you know? And so it's, man, this is my first book and first real book. I got my blueprint, which I consider a book, but this is my first book. This is a real book too, actually. It's got the code and everything. So I did have some previous ones, but so this basically, what this book does too as well is it basically takes you through the entire Program Yourself Then system in a very easy and accessible way. And again, each chapter is a page or two. You know what I mean? It's short chapters because it's meant to be read multiple times, over and over again. So I hope that I hope you enjoy this. That's because I have. It's really good. Anyways, enough of that. We'll talk. I'll be talking so much about that book next week. I'm actually going to wait on it. Jacqueline says, any tips on good sleep? Oh, for sure. I am. I've spent so much time focusing on my sleep. I literally have another program called Sleep at Will. I should sell that program. It's so good. I'm so busy with the weight loss stuff that I don't, I never even sell that thing, but I really should, 'cause it's so good. That is, by the way, a bonus that comes with the program. But so anyways, okay. So how do you sleep better? The main things about sleeping better, number one is physical relaxation. Most people try to go to sleep and they're just so tense, and that tension prevents sleep. And I am an expert at this, I will say, because hypnosis comes from the Greek word to sleep. And basically with hypnosis, we're looking to kind of bring someone right to the edge of sleep and then keep them there. Because when you're right at the edge of sleep, think about it psychologically. You know that feeling of falling asleep, right? You're laying there, but it feels like you fall. That to me is that moment when you go from being a logical, conscious, rational person to flipping into dream sleep mode, right? And dream sleep mode is not logical and rational. It's very imaginative, right? That's why you can be laying down, but feel literally as if you're falling. So it's a very powerful state of being, because when you're in that state and you're given the proper suggestions, your mind and your body really experience them in a very vivid, dramatic way. All right. So, anyways, with hypnosis, every time I'm hypnotizing someone, I'm bringing them right to the edge of sleep. And so I've gotten very good at helping people go to that spot. And if I want to, I can kind of kick them off to sleep. And so the first thing I would suggest is physical relaxation. Obviously, taking like a hot shower or a bath before bed, you probably sleep better. Okay. But you may not have time to do that. So the other thing you can do is do a progressive relaxation when you get into bed. When you're laying in bed, don't just try and fall asleep. Take 30 seconds, 60 seconds, relax your feet, your legs, your stomach, your chest, your shoulders, your face, your neck. Relax it all, sink into the bed. Physically relax your body as much as you possibly can. Okay. And then mentally, what do you do there? This takes, I want to keep this kind of casual, but I think like counting sheep doesn't really work a lot of times if you've got some big thing that's stressing you out. So what I will say, without having to go into too much detail, is after you've relaxed your body, one thing you can do is you can remember a time and a place where you felt really relaxed. That's a fun exercise to do. There's a lot of things you can do, but one thing I would suggest that's relatively simple is while you're lying in bed, after you've relaxed your body for 30 to 60 seconds, excuse me, get my voice back here, is to imagine, a time you're at the beach or by a lake or, just wherever you've been in your life where you've been really, really relaxed and calm. Go back to that memory, step into it, remember as much as you can about it, and really step into that memory. And when you combine the physical relaxation with that mental relaxation, it doesn't guarantee you'll fall asleep, but it certainly brings you a lot closer to it. All right. So those would be the first steps. And again, one thing I'll kind of leave on is that being like a good sleeper is a skill you can develop. I was one of the worst sleepers on the planet. Believe me when I tell you this. And I've become one of the best sleepers on the planet. It's been amazing and very, very helpful and powerful for me. So please understand that even if you suck at falling asleep right now, you can get better at it. You can get better at relaxing physically. You can get better at running your mind and relaxing it mentally. And that's going to help you have more control of your sleep. So I hope that helps you. And TikTok, I am live here. C-Fed says muscle makes it easier to maintain. No. I mean, in a technical sense, the more muscle you have, it can be easier to maintain your weight, because muscle burns more calories than fat does. You know what I mean? But the amount of effort it takes to build muscle, it's a lot of energy to build muscle. I'm not saying don't do it. I think muscle is great. Okay. I'm clearly not a muscle first guy. I don't know if you can tell. But so to me, again, I love muscles and I love working out. All that stuff's great. I am just not really that person so much. I don't love working out. I don't love building a lot of muscle. And a lot of my clients don't either. Okay. And that's fine. Is it better to build muscle? Yes. Okay, sure. I'll give you that. Okay. But there's always what's best. And then there's what we're going to do. And so again, I'm not disparaging muscle building and working out. I think it's great, but I also know myself and know that I don't really like doing a lot of it. Okay. So, and neither do my clients. So I'm speaking to them and you don't need to do it. Is it better? I would agree it is. But most people aren't going to. So there we are. Oh, that makes sense. Caitlin says, I'm in maintenance. I lost 100 pounds past 2 years, enjoyed the holidays and getting back to normal. All right. I love it though. I love it. Great job, Caitlin. C-Fed says, do you eat just plants though? I eat primarily plants, but I eat a little bit of fish, eat some clams, but I'm primarily a plant-based, I'm a plant-based person. I am pescatarian technically, but I am also veganish. I'd say I'm a pescatarian, vegan-ish person, but I'm really mostly I eat very little fish, so I am plant-based. And I think every human should be plant-based primarily if they have the opportunity. It's the healthiest diet without question. There's no question in the world, folks, that a plant-based diet is the healthiest diet that ever existed on the planet. Yes, even more healthy than a carnivore diet. So there is no question about it. All right. Regina says, I'm ordering the book today. All right, Regina. Well, I appreciate that, but don't get it yet because wait till Sunday. I'm giving the Kindle book away for free, and I will let you know the physical book, if you want to get it, will be cheaper. I got to wait 3 more days to lower the price on that, though. Okay, so wait 3 days and you'll save, I think, $5. I forget the exact numbers, but and then if you like the Kindle, I'm giving this away. I'm giving this book away. This thing is solid gold, as I've heard people say. It's really good. It's really good. Next week, I'll be reading some of the chapters and stuff too. I'm really going to be pushing this book next week because I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what happens with the book. I've never released an Amazon book, so we will see how that all goes. I have no expectations. I'm real excited though. I'm so excited for people to get this book. I think it's really good. I am so proud of this book. I love this book. And it's like, because I just love how it's written. It's based on, I modeled this book on the Tao Te Ching, which is really one of the most impactful books in my life. It really made a huge impact on me. And one of the ideas is specifically kind of the format of it, right? So it's formatted like kind of like a poetry book, maybe, is how most people would think of it. This is a Tao Te Ching formatting. And I always loved it. And I used to read that book every night. I would just read like a chapter or two, you know what I mean? Just put those ideas in my head, meditate on them. And so I was really inspired by that. And I really combined kind of that style with hypnosis. So these chapters are hypnotic stories, and I wrote them in a very specific way to appeal to your subconscious mind. And so it's just very light, easy reading, but it's very deep too, and that's why I'm so excited about it. And anyone's going to get a lot of value out of this. But then if you're in the program, I think you're going to love this because it really explains a lot of complex ideas very simplistically, in a very accessible way. And so anyways, I'm excited. I hope y'all get it. I think it's very unique. And I couldn't be happier with how it came out, to be honest. I'm really, really happy with it. I can't wait till people get to see it. So, okay, there we go. Christina says, bought the book. It's very calming. I appreciate that. It's meant to be very calming because again, it's hypnotic stories. So hypnosis, I believe, works best when you're calm and relaxed and good ideas are going in your mind in a way that's very accessible. And the most accessible wrapper for a teaching for a human brain is in a story. Our brains are built for stories. That's how we remember things best. Okay. And so that is the communication model used in this book. And so it's meant to be I don't want to say easy read. I don't mean that. It's meant to be a very enjoyable read, I mean, to be honest, a little bit. I'm not a Bible master, but it's meant to be like that. Like it's stories that stick with you, and stories that stick with you impact you because we're always referencing stories and ideas in our mind, whether you realize it or not. Unfortunately, a lot of those stories and ideas are fucking bullshit because they've been put there by the food industry and the diet industry. And so, we've been programmed and conditioned in this culture we live in to just be obsessed with food and to think all the wrong stuff, pretty much. I don't mean to sound such a blanket way, but it's really true. I mean, good Lord. I mean, you are seeing every single day, you are exposed to thousands and thousands of commercials, every single day. And they're constantly trying to get you, to do things that don't really serve you well. And so it was really exciting for me to write something that's just enjoyable and fun to read that's really going to support you. Because I know I knew it when I knew it. Because this is what I do. I am, not to toot my own horn, but I'm one of the highest paid hypnotists on the planet. Understand? I mean, it's $25,000 to work with me privately. I mean, so I know I'm here for free every day. So people sometimes get a little twisted, but understand that I really know what I'm doing here. So when I made this book, it really is built around hypnotic stories because hypnotic stories, you'll wake up one night and then just be thinking about it. You know what I mean? You'll be during the day getting ready to make a food choice and all of a sudden you'll think about the story. That's how brains work. And very rarely are you getting good ideas. Well, let's just stick with weight loss. Very rarely are you getting weight loss ideas put into your mind in a soft, enjoyable, comfortable way, right? Usually the way you're learning about weight loss is it's like a textbook, right? It's like a textbook. It's like a math book, like fucking math or science book. No good, right? It's just not good. It's always rules. It's like computer programming. It sucks. Let's be honest. Or it's just happy horse shit. You know what I mean? Motivation crap that doesn't last. So again, this is literally these stories, and there's 40 of them in here. There's 40 chapters. Each one's a page or two. But it's designed, each one I think was like a little program designed to go into your mind to impact how you think about all different things. Like, for example, like part of the book, we go through some of the habits. So I'll give you one example, like how to drink water, And so, you're going to, and most of the time when you're going to hear about water, you're going to be told, okay, drink this much water, right? That's 90% of weight loss stuff you're going to get. Drink 6 cups of water a day. Drink 2 gallons of water. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're going to tell you how much water to drink. That's 90% of what you're going to hear about water in the weight loss world. Just drink this much water. Great, right? Then it's left to you to do it. Maybe 10% of the world, you're going to get some reasons why that's a good idea. You should drink, because it's going to do this to your cells, and it's going to do this to you, and it's going to do this to you. And that's helpful. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But very rarely, if ever, probably never, have you heard about drinking water and heard about it in a way that really sticks with you. So the water book here, the water chapter here is the flow of life. And it starts with the plant on her counter looked tired. Its leaves drooped, color faded. The soil was dry and cracked. She got a cup of water and poured it in. The soil darkened. Tiny bubbles rose. Slowly, the leaves began to lift, their color deepening to a dark green. And suddenly, it looked alive again. She smiled, realizing she was in the same situation. Her body had felt heavy, her thoughts dull. She'd been reaching for food, for caffeine, for energy that was getting harder and harder to find. But what she really needed was water. And it goes on from there. But again, and some people ain't going to like that. I get that. But some people are going to love that because it's a story and it's a message wrapped in a story that's so much more appealing than me telling you to drink more fucking water. I promise you the last thing in the world you need to be told is to drink more water. It's not going to make any difference in your water consumption. The way you think about water, what you associate with water, that's going to impact how much water you drink. And you never get those messages. You never get a different message, the deeper subconscious message of why you should drink more water. You never get those. And so that is my goal with this book. That's part of it. All right. Diana says, I'd be okay with a plant-based diet, but without the protein that I often feel unsatisfied and then go to the fatty foods. Any particular plant protein sources you find satiating? Yeah, beans. Excuse me. Beans. Yeah. You start eating beans, you will not be hungry. Beans, I believe beans are the most satisfying food on the planet. So, that's me. Obviously, I've been a vegetarian for 25 years, so I'm a little biased. Okay. And I will accept that. But yeah, if you start eating, you go eat some black beans, some garbanzo beans, some lentils, which might be legumes technically, but either way, you start eating any of those three in any, kind of substantial portion for a meal, I think you'll start to feel pretty satisfied, So that's what I'd start to explore. So Peggy says, when you were discussing sleep today, I was thinking of the well and I was thinking about a plant when you were talking about water. See, that's what I mean. So Peggy, I gave her a copy of the book ahead of it and she read it. And so that's exactly what I'm talking about. Right. So when she thinks about drinking water, she thinks about the plant. And I know that may not, it doesn't matter if you understand it or not. I'm telling you, it's something when you read it, you'll experience it. And that's why I'm giving the book away for free. So I'm giving it away next week. I want you to just get it. If you just read the first couple chapters, I think you'll get exactly what I mean. Is it available in an ebook? Yes. Desire West Troop. It'll be free. I'm giving it away for free. I can only give it away for free for 5 days though. So, Sunday to next Thursday, I'm giving it away for free. So pop on here. Make sure you sign up for my email list because I'll be sending email reminders out about it. But I'm literally giving the whole book away for free. I'd give the physical book away for free if I could, but I can't do that. So I got it going out for free, so I hope you all get it and love it because, again, I think it's really good. How do I sign up? Let me put this in Instagram land here because I never do this over in Instagram. But you can go over to this link because it's going to get you a free hypnosis session. And once you're on my email list, I'll be sending out emails next week for it. And if you're on TikTok, click the little picture of me, and you'll see the link. Go sign up there. But once you're in there, you won't miss the book because believe me, I'll be reminding y'all next week. What's up, Yvonne? How you doing? I haven't seen you in a while, and I sure need help in those areas. Yeah. Again, this book's really going to help you. Yeah. Desire says I want it today. I know. And I've been trying to get, just Instagram kind of froze up there. It's so annoying. But, yeah. I mean, you technically can't, you didn't freeze up. It was just me looking at something, I guess. I will tell you, I mean, you can technically get this at Amazon today, but don't pay for it. Pay for it if you want. Like I said, I'm giving the Kindle book I'm giving away for free. And if the physical book is going to be cheaper starting Sunday. So if you want to, even if you want the physical book, whatever, I don't know what $5 means to you, but you can order it today, or you can wait till Sunday and it'll be cheaper. So I'll let y'all know that. But yeah, I think you're all going to love it. But yeah, if you got any questions, feel free to ask them. Do you eat the same things every day? No, not every day. I mean, I've got in Program Yourself, then we structure our reading. So we've got clean and pleasure days. So Monday through Friday are my clean days, weekends, my pleasure days on a typical week. Obviously, these last couple of weeks haven't been typical, so I haven't been following that. But so basically on the clean days, I eat pretty much the same breakfast, pretty much the same lunch. Dinner's always a little different. But it's pretty structured. Now, that's me, though. You know what I mean? So it's like if someone requires more variety, they can have more variety as well. Julie says, what do you think of purified water with added minerals? I bought by accident, potassium, sodium chloride. I don't know enough about that, to be honest. So I'm going to refrain from talking about it. I don't really know about that whole purified water thing. I don't love it. When I was looking into water purifiers, I was considering some stuff, and the reverse osmosis, that's kind of the issue. And so I don't really like that, but I'm not an expert at that. So I'm going to refrain from really talking too much about it. Yvonne says, I eat in about 4 hours. I'm so hungry. I used to be low sugar and still having hypoglycemic and prediabetes. Yeah, I mean, listen, the first step is just figuring out like what your time window is, right? So the first thing I like to do is just like whatever you typically eat, don't change anything. Just start paying attention to your routine. Start noticing when you typically eat your first meal, when you start to get hungry, when you typically eat the second meal, when you start to get hungry, when you typically eat the third meal, if you're snacking in between, what's going on. So the first thing we do in Program Yourself then is just develop awareness, right? What's a typical eating patterns that you have? Okay. And once you understand what those are, then we typically start to work on the first one, optimizing it, and then noticing what impacts it makes. And we kind of go from there. Right? Alpha says, I used to work out at a gym thrice a week, but it's annoying. I'm not losing weight, so I quit. Yeah, I mean, again, exercising most of the time is not really going to help you lose weight, just to be honest. And I think, again, let me make this crystal clear. I think exercising is wonderful. I think it's great. It's absolutely not necessary to lose weight, though. So both things are true. I want to be crystal clear. And I'm speaking to my clients. Okay. So if you're someone who loves exercising, please don't tell me, I don't want to hear how important exercising is. I know it's important. Great. Okay. We're talking about weight loss here. And you do not need to exercise to lose weight. Just want you to know that. All right. And so I find most people that try and exercise the weight off exactly experience that. They go really hard for a while. They don't lose the weight they thought they were going to, or don't lose any at all. And they quit. I see that. That to me seems like that's what happens to most people. That's what used to happen to me. And so I believe for most of my clients anyways, that the better path is to not start exercising. Now, if you want to go for walks or become a bit more active, I think that's great. But I think taking on a big exercise routine, I think takes so much energy. It takes so much recovery energy that I think it ultimately becomes a negative thing. So I think you're better off putting that energy into focusing on your eating, getting a handle on that, and then starting to bring in exercising if that's important to you. That's what I've seen work a lot more, Name a book, please. The Tao of Living at Your Goal Weight. The Tao of Living at Your Goal Weight. TAO. Yeah, and it's pronounced with a D, though. So, yes, it is there. All right, Deb. Deb said she already bought the book and is reading it. That's awesome. Nice. I hope you're enjoying it. Coastal Gal. All right, New Zealand. I get a lot of New Zealand people. I would say New Zealand's kind of popping into the fourth place. I would say we got Canada, because I'm in America. So obviously that's where most of people are kind of from in this chat. But Canada, UK, Australia, and I would say New Zealand. We get a lot of New Zealand people. And I would say right neck and neck, those Ireland. We get a lot of Ireland people too, which is funny to me. Desire says, it sounds amazing. Never heard of an easy hypnotic book, even just the water paragraph. I need water. Yes. Have you written any other books? No, not really. I mean, I consider this a book. I wrote this year as well. I spent more time on this than the book, but this is a workbook and this is the core of the program, and so it's a 144 page workbook. But it's only for people in the program. But this is my first official book that you can just buy on Amazon. There will be another book coming. Well, I love writing books. I really enjoyed this process so much. So I really see lots of books in my future. But my goal is I would like to get 2 more books done this year. And I know that may sound ambitious, but one of them I got about 80% done. And the other one I've got a really strong outline for, and it's a shorter book. And I don't know if that's actually going to be a book I release either. But anyways, I digress. What do you think about workout? CrossFit, is it good for the body? Again, I'm not an exercise expert. CrossFit to me seems kind of ridiculous. I know, people that do it and love it. But it seems wild. I can tell you, I'll give you a take on it from a different perspective that I do know about. I am a yoga instructor. Okay. And so I'm certified in Shivananda yoga, which is a very gentle yoga. Okay. Compared to Ashtanga yoga or flow yoga that you see a lot. And I watched this happen 20 years ago where Ashtanga yoga came over and that became the yoga everyone wanted to do. Because what I've noticed with Americans is we always have to do the hardest thing, And so it's like a lot of people just want to do the hardest things. They want the fastest results. I get it. But I watched this happen with yoga where all of a sudden people that had never done yoga are jumping right into this super advanced yoga. And, again, if you want to do that, fine. I've never stopped you, but I just think the chances of success with that strategy are very low. And I find from the limited amount I do know with CrossFit, I feel like it's very similar. I think if you're a really in good shape, been working out for a while person, and you want to do CrossFit, then I think that's great. I think if you're a person who hasn't worked out in 10 years and, you're carrying a lot extra weight around and your muscle tone's a little off, cardio's off, all the rest of it, I don't think CrossFit's the way to go to start. I think the chances of you hurting yourself or overdoing it are just too high to recommend that strategy. So, that's my feeling on that. CrossFit looks crazy to me. I've seen what people do that are not ready to do those things, and it seems crazy to me, but take it or leave it. I'm not an exercise expert. Julie says, how do I get the goal weight? Yes, I know. The goal weight blueprint, if you are in the program, you can get it through the Circle app. I've kind of been slow rolling this, completely honest. I was playing around with sending these out, and I was playing around with fulfillment services and all that over the last couple of months. I finally dialed it in. And so I will really, if you're in the program and want this, again, you go to the Circle app. It's only $40. It's completely inclusive. I don't make anything off this. But I'm getting a bunch of them in next week, and they're going to go out quick too. That's a whole thing coming up. I'm not even going to go into that yet, but I got some really exciting things coming up. But yes, if you want to get the goal weight blueprint and you're in the program, you can go into the Circle app and scroll down in the discussion area and you'll see it. And I will send an email about it next week if people want to get it. Desire says, I love yoga. By the way, I'm Coastal Gal in New Zealand. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you're on both of them, right? Yeah. So yoga is great. Yeah, I'm a big fan of yoga. Yeah. Julie, you can get it if you're in the Circle app, and if you can't find it, you can just shoot me an email and I'll send you the link. I've been kind of slow. I haven't really been pushing. I have not been pushing these because every time someone orders them, like the shipping process has been so janky that it's just extra stress. But I'm right. I'm on the other side of that. I got the whole thing figured out, and yeah. So and I will be pushing it more next week if people want to get them. Yeah, is it available in an ebook? Yes, it will be available in an ebook. Oops, let me see here. And I am live TikTok. I know I got caught up on some other questions on some other platforms, but this is live. Did you count calories when you lost weight? No, I never counted calories, but I paid attention to what I was doing, and I I want to say I tracked, right? Tracked has a very specific connotation in the diet world. So I paid attention is what I prefer. I definitely paid attention when I was eating. I structured it and I systematically changed it, but I didn't like track every calorie. I find that very tedious. So I did pay attention to it and developed awareness with my eating, but I did it in a much more sustainable way. I know that doesn't mean a whole lot, but that's the best I can answer it. Do you eat sweets or go out for dinner? Yeah, I do both. I've been eating tons of sweets. I've been eating not tons. I'm not a big sweet person, right? That was never really my big issue. My big challenge was always carbs. You know, that bread specifically, bread, pasta. Those are my big ones. And in the last week and a half, I've put 5 pounds on eating. I started making sourdough bread over the last couple months. And so I really just gave myself free reign to eat stuff. Now, I will say on one hand, I ate a lot less cookies than I ate last year. On the other side, I ate a lot more bread than I ate. And I consider that a win because there's less sugar going in my body. So, okay, I'll take it. But yeah, I eat food. I eat sweets. I eat things I love. I just do it strategically. I structure it in a way where I can have those things, but I've definitely dialed them down. So again, being able to moderate your eating, I think is the fundamental skill you need to develop to monitor your weight. And, that's what we do in Program Yourself Thin is find sustainable, comfortable ways to, reduce your calorie consumption so you can live at your goal weight, yeah. Deborah says, how do I sign up on Facebook Technologically Challenged? I'll put the link in again. Let me put this in. Let me get this. Let me see if I can just copy it. I had done this before. Of course. Oh, there it is. What am I saying? All right, so here we go. If you're on Facebook, you can just use this link I'm about to put in and go get the free hypnosis session. Again, if you're on TikTok, I'll click the picture of me and then there's a link in the bio. Go check that out. I'll give you a bunch of free stuff. I don't know. No one gives you more free stuff than me. I mean, that's something I take so seriously. And wait till you see in this new year what I got for you. For free, I've got a free Kickstart hypnosis session. You get a free training, 3 steps to mastering your weight. It's coming, but I got a free report, the Program Yourself Thin method, literally what it is. I'm telling you the whole thing and how to use it. I've got the goal weight quiz that you take to help you figure out your goal weight. And I got other things as well that are coming. So it's all free. It's, again, I don't think anyone gives you more free stuff than me. So go get it. Right? It's going to help you. You got to use it though. What's up, Shireen? Shireen says, hey there, the book is lovely. A gentle path to improve yourself halfway through. All right. And Happy New Year. Yes. Happy New Year to you. Yes. Again, I think that it's key, this book is, a gentle path. I love that. A gentle path. It really is. It's a gentle path. That's what hypnosis is. When hypnosis is working well, that's what it feels like. It just feels like a gentle kind of nudging and guiding in the right direction. You know what I mean? That's how I think of hypnosis when it's really working well. So that's awesome, Sheree. I'm glad you're liking the book. Moira says, I like the story about the woman trying to reach the village in your book. That resonated with me. Yes. I love that too, right? Yeah. Moira's talking about the chapter. Which one? I forget the chapter names. They're all different. It's got to be. Which one is that? It's so funny. I've been in the never-ending journey. The never-ending journey, the pace that lasts. There once was a woman who longed to reach the next village. She began as she always did, by sprinting, pushing herself as hard as she could, counting every step, measuring every mile. She made quick progress until her focus began to fade and her body became heavy. Soon she collapsed by the side of the road, far away from her goal. Defeated, she returned back to where she started from. But in time, her strength returned, her hope stirred, and her desire to reach the village rose up once more. She laced her shoes full of resolve and once again charged ahead, only to find the same ending waiting for her: exhaustion long before arrival. Again and again, the pattern repeated, bursting forward, breaking down, always ending where she started. Then one day she chose a different beginning. I'll stop there. But it's so good. It makes you, right? Because again, it's like stuff see, here's the secret of hypnosis. And that's why I love this book so much, because I think hypnosis is so misunderstood. When hypnosis is really working, it's a Trojan horse. You got to think of hypnosis like a Trojan horse. It's not the hypnosis, it's the message inside of it. And I could sit here and tell you, drink more water, right? And that's what the diet industry does. It tells you what to do in a very logical, rational, cold way. But it doesn't make any difference because it doesn't change the way you think about water. It doesn't change your associations to water. So when I talk about drinking water through the frame of a plant that we've all seen plants when they don't have enough water. When plants get dehydrated, they get wilty, right? So it starts to mean different things to your nervous system and to your subconscious mind. This is the power of hypnosis, and you're going to experience it just from reading the book. Hypnosis is not just words being said. Do you understand? That's audio hypnosis, the most popular kind, but there's all kinds of hypnosis, and it's really about how your mind absorbs information, if that makes sense. But Moira, I appreciate you saying that, and I'm glad you liked that chapter. I love that chapter too. I love it so much. It was fun writing that, and I'm glad you liked it. Sonia says, I'm always thinking about food. Well, it's no wonder. I mean, we live in a culture that is constantly triggering us to think about food. So again, learning how to run your mind, I think, is just fundamental if you're gonna have any chance, of being able to run your weight. So I get that. Asta says, is it normal? I am on my 29th day of the program and still haven't lost weight. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's true because program yourself thin. I always make this point. It's not about the fastest weight loss. So if you got to lose a bunch of weight by the end of the month, don't get program yourself thin. Go do some other plan that's rapid and all the rest of it. The key thing, Asta, is have you been doing it consistently? And do you feel more relaxed? Do you feel more calm? Have you started working on the blueprint and working your way through what's in here? And are you using it? Because program yourself thin is like, I think of it like, it's like learning to play guitar or learning to play the piano or something. It's something you're developing. It's a skill set you're mastering. And so, part of it is, again, figuring out your blueprint, your plan, which again is going through the goal weight blueprint and figuring out how to think, live, and eat like a thin, healthy person. And then part of it is programming your mind. So you start to do those things. And we just keep doing it, keep getting better and better and better and better and better at it. All right. And so how much weight we lose in the first month really is irrelevant. As long as you're getting consistent with the program, starting to internalize it, working your way through the blueprints, you know what I mean? So again, we're paying attention to weight, but we're also measuring other things. So how have you been doing going through the program itself? So put the weight to the side for a second. Have you been listening to the daily sessions? Have you been working on the blueprint? Have you been using the program yourself thin technique and doing the redo rehearsal at night? Those are the things I'd be focusing on, because if you start doing all those things, I guarantee you will lose weight. Guarantee it. So, Regina will wait. Good job. Love your content, but I can't seem to zone out for the hypnosis. You don't have to zone out. That's a key misunderstanding sometimes. You can be listening to it and be daydreaming, thinking about work tomorrow, thinking about last year. It doesn't matter, because it's really the key thing with the hypnosis is initially relaxing, calming down, turning your attention inwards, and then being more relaxed and calm, and then just hearing all those words and messages. Sometimes it may sound strange, but sometimes ideas that go in a distracted way sometimes are more impactful than if you're focused and concentrating on it. So don't worry about that, Sherry. It's listening to the session. As long as you're relaxing and calming down and feeling a bit more relaxed while you're doing it, if your mind's running and racing and going all over the place, that's okay. You'll get better at that too, by the way, the more you practice the hypnosis. But even if your mind's going all over the place, it's still better to listen to that session and relax a bit and hear those good messages than to not listen to it. So great job doing work though, and practicing that. All right. Caitlin says, counting calories can be useful for short-term to visualize how much you're actually consuming. Yeah, absolutely. I think counting calories as like a calibration exercise, spending a week or two, just kind of tracking what you typically eat, I think is a great exercise to do. Tracking calories long-term, I think is tedious for most people and they're going to quit. So I appreciate you saying that, Caitlin, because I think that's a good, thing to add. That I do think counting calories, because most people really aren't very accurate with what they estimate the calorie consumption that they're doing is. And so tracking calories for a week or two just to kind of calibrate, am I accurate or am I off, I think is really helpful. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, yeah. And Caitlin follows that up by saying, but yes, tedious for long term, not sustainable, but helped me to learn. And I was shocked. Yes. Pretty much everyone I talk to, myself included, when we start paying attention to the calories of what we typically eat, I was way off, way off. And most of my clients, it's the same thing. They're way off in what they think they're consuming. And if you're way off, if you're way underestimating the calories, oh my God, you're doomed. You know, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to succeed if you are misestimating your calories dramatically. You know, because you'll think you're doing everything right, and when the weight doesn't come down, you get discouraged and frustrated. You know. Speech said, I don't understand the whole calorie in, calorie out thing. Well, I mean, you just think of it like a bank account. You know what I mean? So it's like, you bring in, I don't know, you bring in 2,000 calories, you burn 2,000 calories, you're going to stay the same weight, right? So you're creating an equal weight, calorie equilibrium, right? So if you eat 2,500 calories and you burn 2,000 calories, you're going to have a 500 calorie abundance, right? So that's going to be stored in fat. If you consume 1,500 calories and you burn 2,000 calories, you're going to have a 500 calorie deficit. And so your body's going to pull some fat out. So, I mean, that's a very simplistic way of looking at it, but that's basics of it. Speech Fed says, how come you don't want more muscle on your body? I do want more muscle on my body. You know, I mean, listen, that goes in the category of things I want. You know what I mean? Like there's lots of things I want that I'm not necessarily going to commit. I mean, I wish I was a, world-class guitar player, but it turns out I don't really put the time and effort into really practicing the way it would take to do that. So yeah, I would love to have more muscle on, but the amount of effort and energy it takes to build muscle, I haven't been that committed to it. I don't know, and I think this is an important point, like a lot of times I love telling people that I don't want to be the healthiest person I can be. That's where my whole success starts from, I believe, because I think a lot of people walking around just jerking themselves around, be like, oh, I want to be as healthy as I can be. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because being the absolute healthiest person you can be, you're going to experience that as a reduction of quality of life. No phones, no fast food, no junk food, no sugar. No, you know what I mean? Like very quickly, your life's going to feel very boring. So again, I think we got to live in the real world. Would I love to have more muscle? Sure. Am I willing to live the lifestyle that puts a lot more muscle on me? I'm not, to be honest. And so where I'm at is I do push-ups and squats, and that's been an improvement for me. And so I'm happy with that right now. Is that putting more muscle in my body? Yeah, probably a little bit, but not very much. It's not a focus for me. And I think we have to, we've got to respect, what we're willing to do as well. We can't say, more muscle. I got to have more muscle. Oh, I got to eat healthier. Oh, I'm going to eat healthier. Oh, and I got to meditate too. And I'm going to meditate. Oh, and yoga. Yeah, I'm going to do yoga. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the American way. Like, we're just going to do everything. No, you're not. No, you're not going to do everything. You only have so much energy. You only have so much time. And so you've got to be strategic. And you got to be, intentional about what you're going to focus on. You can't do everything. This is why I think dieters fail so often, because they try to change everything. I mean, dieting sets you up for that. Think about it. Dieters in one day, they're going to completely 100% change all of their eating and behavior just like that, right? Yesterday I ate like this. Today I eat like this. And what changed? Well, it's a different day. And now I'm a completely different person. No, you're not. And that's why I think dieters doom themselves right from the beginning, because they think they're just going to transform overnight. And Program Yourself Thin, there's none of that pressure. And really, the core of the program is the Program Yourself Thin technique, the redo rehearsal technique. And it's a 60-second mental rehearsal technique you use. And it's built to deal with your mistakes, because you're going to make mistakes. This idea that you can just never make a mistake again is so silly. And it makes me crazy. So again, in Program Yourself Thin, we acknowledge and accept you're going to make lots of mistakes. But what we want to do is we want to be able to learn and grow from them and get back on track quickly. And if you can do that, you're going to get better results. And as you keep walking that path, you're going to make less and less mistakes. But even when the mistakes come, you're always going to be able to deal with them. And that, I think, is the big difference between Program Yourself Thin and diets. Because diets, when you make a mistake on a diet, you're pretty much cooked. You're done. Most of the time, you're going to quit. And so most dieters have very limited ability to deal with mistakes and setbacks. And in Program Yourself Thin, that's the core of the program. Because again, we're focused on living at your goal weight, not just getting there. And if you're going to live at your goal weight long term, you're going to need to be able to bounce back from mistakes because you're going to make them. You're going to make them, okay? And so you need to, never mind about being perfect, you need to get masterful at being able to make a mistake and get right back on track. No big deal. That's what's going to change your weight more than anything. You know? Dolores, I need to listen to you for now for sure. Nice. What's up, Don? Don says, strength training is a major focus for me and did reshape my body, but it had no effect on my weight loss. Yeah. And I think that's a great way to look at it. I often say eating controls your weight, exercising and muscle building controls your shape. And I think that's a good way to think about it. Because again, trying to build muscle to lose weight to me is the hardest path. It's hard to build muscle, folks. It just is. I mean, it's hard to change your eating. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not saying what I'm telling you is just like, oh, it's easy stuff. It's not. It takes focus and energy, but you can only focus and energy on so many things. So to try and change everything all at once, I think that's the dieter's mistake in a nutshell. And so we want to be strategic. Again, Dawn's in the program. I've been working with Dawn for a couple of years now, you know? And so again, she's spent years now really working on the muscle building. You know, but also after getting the eating in control and a lot of other things, you know, set up. So again, I just want to say one more time, I love muscle building. I think it's great for people. It's great for me. Okay. But at the same time, I mean, I want to do more yoga. Doing more yoga to me is more important to me than muscle building. So I'm pretty happy with what I did this past year. I'm very happy with myself for adding the push-ups into my weekday routine and my body weight squats in my weekday routine. That was a huge, huge addition for me. And, you know, if I maintain that for another year, I'd be really happy. And I could see myself at some point starting to add more resistance training, more muscle building into my routine. Okay. But I'm kind of compartmentalizing it because this year I'd be happy if I maintain my push-ups and body squats and I added more yoga. So that's me. That's my goal. And everyone's different. If you want to focus more on muscle building, you focus more on muscle building. You know, again, we all have to kind of build around what works for us. But at the end of the day, all of us have to make decisions. We can't just make everything great. You can't. You know what I mean? You got to be systematic and strategic and focus on things in a very specific way if you really want results, I think, you know. Coastal Gal says, what's the details of the program? Can I join? Yeah, absolutely can join. And actually, this is a perfect segue. And again, I never do this. I never use Program Yourself Thin as a pitch session. I only do it a little bit around the new year just because it's, you know, that time of year. And if I could save someone from, you know, joining another stupid weight loss program, this is the one time I kind of do it. But what I will say is right now, Program Yourself Thin is discounted. It will be discounted. It's $297. Which is a ridiculously low price for what you get. But you can go to programyourselfthin.com and check that out and see what's in the program. You can get it for the discounted rate. It will be discounted until not this Sunday, but the Sunday after. And that is it. I know I've said this before, so if you don't believe me, I wouldn't blame you. But you're going to be sorry because I promise you that following Monday, it goes up to $500 and that's the lowest price it'll ever be from that point forward. Okay. So I just want you to know that, but I haven't done the video I need to make it $500. And so whatever, I'll pop it out there one last time for $297. So if you want to see what the program's all about, you can go there and check it out. I will give you a quick overview of the program. Basically, there's three main components to it. Number one is knowing what to do. And that is really the goal weight blueprint. Okay. So you got to know what to do. So you get this goal weight blueprint, you get it in PDF version. So I'll make clear this is, if you want the physical version, you can do that, but it does cost more. You get the PDF instantly for free. Okay. It's fillable PDF and you can start working through that, creating your own blueprint. So this is knowing what to do. The other side of the program is knowing how to get yourself to do it, how to run your own mind. And this is the Program Yourself Thin method, which teaches you the redo rehearsal technique, 60-second mental rehearsing technique that you learn to use at night. That's a training you get immediately. So you'll watch that training. It's about 40 minutes and you will start using that technique immediately tonight. And you use it every night to program yourself. And then there's the support of the system. And so there's an 8-week hypnosis program that comes with it. So every day for 8 weeks, every morning you get a 5-minute hypnosis session And every week you get a 10-minute hypnosis session to listen to at night. And the idea is you're going to bookend your days with hypnosis sessions, 5 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night. And what this does is it calms your nervous system down, relaxes you, and just puts lots of good stuff in your mind. Each day you get a different weight loss mantra for a total of 57 of them. Each week you get a core weight loss mantra for a total of 8 of them. You put all this in your mind and you start thinking differently. All right. In addition to that, there's also weekly live Q&A calls on Tuesdays. If you have any questions at all, you literally get on the Q&A call with me and I'm directly will answer them. So you're super supported. And on top of that, you also get access to Gym on Demand, which is basically an AI I created that has been trained on over 10 millions of my words. And it literally is like coaching with me. And I know it sounds shocking, but it's literally like you can talk to it or you can chat with it. And if you talk to it, it's literally like talking to me right now. It sounds exactly like me. It says all the same things I would say to you. And so instead of paying $25,000 to work with me, you can literally work with Gym on Demand anytime you choose to. And that's available to you as well in the program. There's a bunch of other stuff as well, but I don't want to, bore you with it. If you're interested, go to programyourselfthin.com, go check it out. And again, right now, you can get it at a discount. So go check that out. Yeah. All right. So that being said, I'm going to wrap it up here. I got to get out of here. If you are not in my world, again, please click the link in my bio and go get the free hypnosis session that I made for you. Go watch the training. Read the emails I send. It's all for free. Go check it out. If you like this, I'm here every Monday through Friday, usually around noon Eastern, to help you all out. And I will be here a lot next week. Again, this book goes live next week and it's going to be free. I'm going to be giving away for free, Kindle version, free. So I'll be doing lots of lives to promote that. And if you like the lives and you want to get here, but you can't get to it, it's also a podcast. So you can go to any podcast platform, search Program Yourself Thin, and it'll pop up and you can listen to it whenever you like. All right. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a super duper day. Relax this weekend. Okay. The new year starts Monday and we'll talk soon. Bye, everyone.